Hi, my name is Todd Bigelow. Thanks for stopping in. This is just a short informal video series on business topics for freelance photographers. I've been a freelancer for 30 years. I'm a contributing photographer to Contact Press Images. I'm an adjunct professor of photography and photojournalism, the founder of the Business of Photography Workshop, and most recently, the author of the Freelance Photographer's Guide to Success Business Essentials. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope you enjoy the series. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to talk today a little bit less about specific business practices, but something that relates definitely to being a freelance business, and that's camaraderie. Okay, so there's one thing that I think we could probably universally agree on across the globe, freelancers in every country. It's that, for the most part, we're one-person operations. Maybe we have a partnership, small LLC, something along that lines, but for the most part, freelancers are independent photographers. We're working on our own. We have home offices. We count on basically ourselves to run our business. With that in mind, and having as many years experience as I do, as you can tell from the gray hair here, I've learned a few things about the value of finding support and camaraderie as a freelancer. So I just wanted to share a few of those things, okay? So this might not be something that is specific to, you can implement this directly into your business and see a big, windfall from it, or, specific results related to, income. But this is really vitally important kind of to the health of your business. So let's start by just a couple of ways, a few ways in which I've found support and camaraderie and a feeling of community within the freelance world. Okay, again, going back, 25 to 30 years. First and foremost, consider an agency. Okay, if you can, work with a photo agency, I think that you'll definitely find that there is a number of ways in which you'll feel like you're a part of something. Smaller agencies, even maybe going as far as feeling like you're almost a part of a family, or a loose-knit group of photographers with common goals and interests, which of course make it feel like you're part of something. I do recognize that agencies are not at the level they were, 15, 20 years ago, as far as volume of smaller boutique agencies. Many of those have been bought up by bigger agencies and or just decided to, kind of retire the archive. There were many agencies when I began, places like JB Pictures and a number of others. I started with Black Star Photo Agency. Very fortunate to have gotten on with them at the very beginning of my freelance career, and I did find tremendous support and a willingness to, talk about projects and to discuss how to go forward, obviously to help develop clientele. But it was more, than just the business side of, oh, can you get me a client? Can you get me a shoot? It definitely had to do with, feeling like if I had, just wanted to talk about some of my photography or a project that I was working on, that I could discuss it not only with my agent and the director, but there were social gatherings in New York, regularly, where if I was back there, I know I could reach out and get together and meet up with some people. I've since gone on to several other agencies as well, and I've found that consistent throughout, and I really count on that. I appreciate the support, the honesty, that feeling of camaraderie again with photographers that are also with that agency. So consider that. You'll have to look into it. I can't speak to the really big, massive agencies, but I do know that with some of the mid-size and smaller ones, if you can get with them, you might find that level of support that makes you feel inclusive with something. How about membership in organizations? Obviously, there's a number of professional organizations out there, ASMP, APA, PPA, depending on the type of photography that you are into. Look into joining those organizations. I know that many of them have local chapters. So depending on where you are, you might find that there's a Los Angeles chapter, which I know there is for ASMP and a number of others, basically all the larger organizations. And they will have, gatherings and so forth. And even if they're not having regular gatherings, just being a part of that organization, you're going to feel included, by virtue of either going to keep you informed on things that they're working on as an organization, perhaps some shows that they might be curating, or ways in which they can get together and use the organization to advocate for strong photography and photojournalism. So organizations have student chapters, they have professional chapters, obviously. They have different levels of participation. You can even get involved with them on the board level if you'd like. But look into the organizations. It can be a way in which you find, again, some support amongst your professionals and peers and so forth. How about just meet up with colleagues? You can do that on the professional level, like with the organizations. You can do it on just an informal level. So there's a number of ways to do this. Going back to the late 90s, there was I've been in Los Angeles as a freelancer for many years, and, you got to know a number of photographers that you would see out on assignment, whether it was big assignments and so forth, or you just bump into people at various times. But you get to know some people over time, and we actually at one point formed a little group. we even named it. It was called the New Light Group, and there are a number of photographers that have gone on to really produce some fantastic work and develop their name and over time. But at that time, we were all grinding, as we still do, but definitely getting our careers going and really pushing our project work out there. And we got together once a month. We kind of rotated and picked a house or an apartment. We did a potluck. We drank a little, we ate a little, and we showed work. You didn't have to, but you could bring your work along. We dropped it in slide carousels because most of us were shooting chromes for magazines and so forth. Obviously today you can just, project it or show it on a big screen TV, but it was a really nice way to just hang out and just talk project work, support one another, give some real feedback, and just get together. It was really nice. Those go on these days as well. I know that. I see that a number of organizations do have, like, I think the Tucson ASMP has a Pints and Peers or something along that lines. I remember from years ago when I did a workshop in Tucson. I know Oregon chapter of ASMP has some social gatherings, great bunch of people up there. So, look into that. Again, that's a way in which you can feel a little bit, included and just hang out amongst those that share those similar interests. And last but not least, obviously there's online groups. Social media. I don't think I need to explain anything about social media to anybody here. I would just say that find groups that are, meet kind of your quality and your desire for your photography, whether it's photojournalism or art or landscape or nature or wildlife or adventure, sports or whatever. Perhaps find an online group that not only you can share with on, a platform, but maybe even has, a monthly get together by Zoom or something. We all kind of discovered that through the pandemic, but, I have a good friend, David Bergman, that does some of these, always sends out an invite to get together. He's in New York, so, they do it a little bit later so that it's kind of happy hour time on the West Coast. I have not yet had a chance to grab one because it's often been on nights where I'm out and about. But it's really nice to be offered. It's really nice to be included. It's really nice to attend and just hang out and chat. Maybe have a beer, or even if you don't drink, you can have a coffee and just discuss some things with photographers in a more social, informal gathering. Okay, I found those things to be really important to me throughout my career. Again, going back to early agencies and little informal groups that I formed with that I participated in, didn't necessarily help form, at the beginning of my career, and it really helps for the mental health and to feel like you're kind of part of something, all right? Because freelancing, if you're not, can feel really lonely and disconnected. And so I just wanted to share a few of those things. I know that's not exactly along the lines of like, hey, if you do this, you can, create some licensing revenue or something. But to start out the year, I do think it's important that we look out for one another, especially during the pandemic when some mental health issues have, risen up to the top when we're feeling kind of isolated. So hope that helps. Just a few ways in which you can try to get together with others. I look forward to seeing you again throughout the year. And if you need anything, reach out, drop me a line, and I'll do what I can to help. Okay? Thanks a lot.